So in 2026, for lesson 7.5, I changed the examples on the notes, and so I'm going to do those right now. And so on example 3, we're going to find the angles in degrees between 0 and 360 that have the given trig ratio using the unit circle. And so A, we want to find the angle that the sine is going to be square root of 3 over 2. And so on the unit circle, the sine comes from the y. So what we're going to do is look through the unit circle and see what angles have a y coordinate that is the square root of 3 over 2. And so as I look at this, I can see here the y coordinate is the square root of 3 over 2. So so one of the answers is going to be 60 degrees. All right, this one also has a y coordinate that's the square root of 3 over 2. So one of the answers is going to be 120 degrees. All right, and then for B, we want to know what angles on the unit circle have a cosine that is negative square root of 2 over 2. So we want to know what angles have an x coordinate that is negative square root of 2 over 2. And so for there to be a negative x, we would need to have from 0, we need to have moved left. And so we're looking at here, which is 135 degrees, and here, which is 225 degrees. And then for letter C, we want the tangent of the angle to be negative 1, which means that when you do y divided by x, you get negative 1. So that means that the y and the x need to basically be the same, except one's positive and one is negative. And so the angles where it is the same are going to be at the 45-degree angles. And so we're looking at those, so when I divide, I'm going to get a negative, which means one needs to be positive and one needs to be negative, which is going to be 315 and 135 degrees. All right, and then 4, we're doing basically the same thing, except we're going to give the angle in radians. And so whenever we are doing tangent, we want to know on the unit circle, if we want the tangent of the angle to be 0, we need to have taken y and divided it by x and got 0, which means that the top is 0, so y is 0. And so y is 0 here, which in radians is going to be 0. Y is 0 here, which in radians is going to be pi. Oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong place. All right, and then for B, I want the cosine of the angle to be 1/2, which means I want the x coordinate to be 1/2. So the x coordinate is 1/2 when we move to the right. And so it's going to be 60 degrees and 300 degrees. Oh, sorry, not in degrees. It is going to be 5 pi over 3 and pi over 3. All right, and then on the last one, we want the sine of the angle to be negative 1/2, which means I want the y coordinate to be negative 1/2. So that means I would have moved down 1/2. And so I know it's going to be here. So here we have negative 1/2. So 7 pi over 6. Here we have negative 1/2, 11 pi over 6.